As one of North America's most isolated cities, Anchorage is fascinating to me. In this series, I briefly cover a city's history, population, skyline, as well as a few things that make the city unique. Now let's meet Anchorage. I always like to start by exploring how a city wound up being where it is today. Anchorage is located in south-central Alaska on a peninsula at the end of the Cook Inlet. Alaska itself was purchased by the United States from Russia in 1867, and about 20 years later, gold was discovered in the Anchorage area, which led to an influx of prospectors. Anchorage was initially settled as a tent city when the construction of the Alaska Railroad began in 1915. Then during the Dust Bowl in the 1930s, the US government gave federal assistance to farmers to move to Anchorage to help develop an agricultural community. Over the course of World War II, the Alaska Highway was completed as well as two military bases, Fort Richardson and Elmendorf Air Force Base, which made Anchorage a major defense city. And then the discovery of oil in Prudhoe Bay in 1968 further spurred Anchorage's development and growth, turning it into a hub for the oil and gas industries. Today, Anchorage has a population of about 286,000, making it the 74th largest city in the country on paper. However, I tend to think metro population is a better indicator of a city's true size, and Anchorage has a metro population just over 400,000, making it the 137th largest metro in the country, falling between Flint, Michigan, and Canton, Ohio. The metro is referred to as the Anchorage Bowl and is by far the largest metro in the state, even having more state employees than the state capital of Juneau. Anchorage is home to 5 colleges and universities, including the University of Alaska Anchorage. Call me shallow, but when it comes to cities, I think appearances matter. Anchorage is located in one of the most naturally beautiful locations of any city in the country, and its albeit modest skyline is actually better than I would have expected for a city of its size. If you took the average height of Anchorage's tallest 5 buildings, the skyline would be ranked as the 85th tallest skyline in the country, falling between Tucson, Arizona, and Lincoln, Nebraska. Given that it's the 137th largest metro in the country, the skyline does punch above its weight. That being said, Anchorage's boxy buildings aren't something I get all that excited about. The tallest building in the city is the ConocoPhillips building at 296 feet or 90 meters. It's currently the tallest building in Alaska, but may be passed in the coming years by a new air traffic control tower at the airport. The most iconic landmark viewable from Anchorage isn't one of its buildings, but rather the continent's tallest mountain, the Great One, Denali. Denali, formerly known as Mount McKinley, is a whopping 20,310 feet tall. It's located 133 miles or 214 kilometers north of Anchorage, but given its height, is still viewable from some areas of the city. One of the places you can see Denali from Anchorage is from the Crow's Nest restaurant at the Captain Cook Hotel. The namesake of the hotel is the famous British explorer Captain Cook, who sailed up the Cook Inlet to the Anchorage area while looking for a northwest passage to the Atlantic Ocean. Anchorage is also home to several interesting museums. The Anchorage Museum, which is located in downtown Anchorage, is the largest museum in Alaska and features exhibits on Alaskan history, art, and science. There is also the Alaska Native Heritage Center, which offers insights into the cultures and traditions of Alaska's indigenous people. It's located on 26 acres and has 6 different life-size replicas of Native American dwellings, as well as demonstrations of Native American dancing and games. Another interesting museum is the Alaska Aviation Museum, which is located at Lake Hood, the world's busiest seaplane base. The museum has 25 vintage airplanes with significance to Alaska that all remain in flying condition. The biggest annual event in Anchorage is the Fur Rendezvous Festival, or Fur Rondi. It's considered to be the world's best winter carnival. They have dog sled competitions, ice carvings, and even an event similar to the running of the bulls, but with reindeer. Fur Rondi is basically Alaska's version of Mardi Gras, but in the dead of winter. At the tail end of Fur Rondi, the famous Iditarod dog race kicks off. The race has a ceremonial start in Anchorage before the official start in the town of Willow. The race is referred to as the last great race on Earth and is about 1,000 miles or 1,700 kilometers long. Ultimately, the biggest appeal of Anchorage are the outdoor opportunities surrounding the city. One of the places of note not far from the city is the Chugach State Park. The Chugach State Park is one of the largest state parks in the country and provides dozens of recreational activities in the Alaskan wild. South of the state park is the beautiful Alyeska Resort. It's the largest ski area in the state and is situated in a breathtaking location along the water. At the top of the resort is the Mount Alyeska Roundhouse, which is Alaska's only mountaintop museum. The octagon-shaped building is also on the National Register of Historic Places. Well, that wraps up my video about Anchorage. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.